Haya ndiyo mapokezi yaliyojaa furaha riboribo waliopewa vinara wa kitaifa katika muungano wa wahadhiri wa vyuo vikuu nchini almaarufu Uasu. Mapokezi haya yakifanyika katika mkahawa wa Zebu Lojezuloko viungani mwa mji wa Narok. Wanachama ukumbini waking'ang'ania salamu za vigogo.
How are you? Now let me see. New colleagues, okay? Just introduce yourself. You know, one person who can say Medina, I will not forget. Good afternoon. Regina Kamande.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Regina Kamande, Department of Social Studies. I teach Forensic Criminology and Security Management.
Let us clap for us.
Good afternoon, colleagues.
Good afternoon.
My name is Uasu-Mmarau. I joined Maasai in September last year. I'm still on probation in the Department of Nursing.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Paul Walkela. I've joined Uasu-Mmarau University January this year from University of Eldoret after I got to politics to contest for a member of parliament seat, which I lost.
Today I have found one honest politician. Politician, all that same ability, you will not lose. Your voice was stolen. Thank you, colleagues. Let us welcome new members in the union. Can you people feel free? This is your new union. Let us build it together. Thank you very much.
Ziara hii ikilenga kuwapa mshawasha wanachama wa Uasu tawi la chuo kikuu cha Maasai Mara kuendeleza elimu na maendeleo endelevu. Tawi hilo lilikuwa likisherekea mkutano mkuu wa mwaka almaarufu AGM awamu ya 11 mnamo Februari tarehe 8 mwaka wa 2024.
A time to talk to you. We are great that we have our general here, so when we have our general, session tunakuwa salamu tu. So I bring you greeting from Martin University.
Kauli mbiu ikiwa kukumbatia pia kupa kipaumbele uzingativu wa uadilifu na maadili wanapotoa huduma zao vyuoni.
We have also been in this war with the management. We have been fighting for the workload. Our workload tumekuwa tukifunza 2 practicals na 3 non-practicals, but the council decided to move us to 3 and 4. So when we met the management, we pushed them and said, you cannot change this without negotiating. And we told them, workload is a negotiable item under the CBA, so we need to negotiate. So the management refused. They said this was a directive from the council. We cannot change the directive of the council. But we told them council does not live in Devens. They want to come assist. So we wrote and demanded to meet the council. When we met the council, persuaded them, wakakataa kusikiliza. We went to the court and we have won that war. And now we are back to I have also heard your team here, and also the SG talked about that, but I want you to know that stand strong, let no one overload you, stand strong and you will win.
Kauli hii ikiungwa mkono, sifa zikipewa uongozi na wanachama wa tawi husika.
Habari zenu? I've been here several times. I recognize faces that we started the chapter with. I'm glad to be here. I didn't intend to be here. The whole of yesterday we were trying to see who will come. Why? Because NSG was in court in May. And I was organizing to have the NOS come, just in case he doesn't make it. But he came last night, and he called and said, you know, we need to see the VC, because we are still going to take the buses from Maasai. And he said, we go for that meeting. I was reluctant because there are things that we are doing at the national. But he said, you know, they have a new VC, she's a lady, and what I said, well, I need to be there because I don't want them to make deals without us. You know, sometimes when women talk to men, they can easily be convinced. That's why sometimes we don't send men to buy fruits. Because when the lady selling the fruit smiles, and I pay away the buyer. We are not able to handle that aspect. So I decided, well, if she's a lady, if she gets to him, she will not get to me. I say, no, we have spent money on this case, we need our money. But I'm glad that she handled us well. We've been there for some time. That's why we came late.
Vile mweka hazina wa Uasu kitaifa, Daktari Janefa Kumba, amewarai wahadhiri wadhamini umoja wao na uzalendo kwa muungano wao.
When things are going wrong, I normally know. Why? Because I get 100%. So when the month looks like Uasu-Mmarau has more money, it means something good has happened. Yeah, so I can easily tell universities that are having problems with membership. But I'm glad to say that you seem to be doing well. And because you seem to be doing well, hata kama pesa sijakuja and there is NDC, I don't have a problem making sure that you travel. Right? Yes. Yes, national office make sure that you travel because we are sure that the chapter will pay its debts. Thanks for the way you organize yourselves. This chapter is very well organized. We don't get a lot of we have so many cases in court that should have been solved at the chapter level, and they were left to go on until sometimes people want to come and auction our things at national office. When you trace, you find that the chapter leadership did not give the right direction. Kemboi, thanks for the work you are doing here. You don't get much. The only case we can take to court is the national CBA one. But most of the issues here, and then your chapter secretary communicates very well, and that is good. We need strong chapters, given the atmosphere under which now we operate. You know, it has changed. Yes. We had problems before, but now we have other problems. So we need to come together. If a chapter is not speaking in one voice, you can go for years with a problem. But when you are together, speaking the same language, things move. So I want to thank members for making sure that your chapter office functions. And that is important because the union is for members. The union is not for officials. The Vice Chancellor will not fear officials. Will fear the power behind what? The officials. You know, that is union, and they understand.
Constantine Wasonga ni katibu mkuu wa Uasu kwenye ngazi za kitaifa.
Rob, umekuwa profesa ama bado you are Dr. Rob? How come I didn't see you? I've seen many here. Yeah. Bingi sijaona. Engineer pia ameenda wapi? Filthy. Na Wasonga sijaona. Friends and colleagues, solidarity. Forever. Solidarity. Forever. I want to start from this premise. Let nobody joke with you, because now I'm an advocate of the icon of Kenya. And also is that okay? Hey. So the union is safe, you are also safe. Yesterday I was in Meru Court, and you'll just hear the outcome. Today I came here. The Vice Chancellor has promised to pay you your 2 months arrears or not before March. And I told her, usipolipa, hii gari yako ndio tutakuja kuchukua. Na amesema kwa sababu usifanye hivyo, I've given you my word, I'm going to pay members of staff their 2 months salary arrears. That therefore means that for 2017-2021 CBA, you are only owed 1 year's arrears. Am I correct?
Yes.
Which I am at the Court of Appeal looking for those arrears. So Maasai-Mara is well placed.
Yeye anasisitiza wahadhiri kujitenga na utovu wa maadili wakati ambapo vigogo wao wanapigania haki na kuboreshwa kwa mazingira na maslahi kazini.
And I want to thank the leadership of Maasai-Mara. I don't see you people making noise. These are very organized chaps in Dons Forum. These are good staff. That's how Dons should behave. You see this Mutadaos, they can build you or they can destroy you. Internet does not forget. One day, those nasty things you write on Mutandao, you will appear before a panel. Na watakuuliza kwa wewe ndio Keboi. Wewe ndio ulikuwa unaandika hizi vitu. Wewe ndio ulikuwa una post this naked woman here. So how can we trust you with this position? How? That social media platform can build you or it can destroy you. Are we together? Be very careful what you write there. I also want you to be responsible citizens as lecturers. I'll be feeling my duty if I don't tell you this because I've not had it, but I've had it in other universities. Wacha kukunywa maziwa ya mtoto. Umewachwa na mtoto, mama ameenda kazi, amekuacha na bottle, hii mtoto kama atasikia njaa utampea. Wewe ndio unachukua unakunywa. Stop drinking a child's milk. It will spoil the job. You know the philosopher? Wacha kukula chakula ya mtoto. Wacha watoto wakulana peke yao. Because it will spoil the job. It has spoiled many people's jobs as well. The next thing, if you set exam and you are the one stealing that exam, so why were you setting it in the first place? But nowadays our police are on high tech, they don't steal. They change marks on the computer. And that computer, as a trade, what I want to, Dr. Mendes got at this time on this computer, those are cases I'm dealing with in other universities. And many people have lost jobs because of just those silly mistakes. Colleagues, let us be above board. If you change for this student,
Yeye pia ataenda kwa Mungu. No. It is nani uchi for me. Just go. It's chaos like that until you know. Oh, wewe unapita namna gani? These students know each other. If one fails, they know this one failed. If you do not do a supplementary, they know. Watakuuliza, mimi naona I'm seeing you on the television list. How did you make it here? Oh, it is Salambo who changed for me. Oh, then Salambo is being done what? Now sometimes, very fun, I will tell you, if you see, sometimes when I go to defend these members, now, if you get the money that my colleague was given, even the sabab I'm saying, I need to negotiate a CPA so that we don't get embarrassed. 500 shillings. A student sends you 500 shillings, and 500 shillings makes you lose your job. Sometimes a student, hawa wanafunzi pia wako na nguo ya kuvaa nzuri, makes you spoil your job. Now I'm seeing very beautiful ladies here. Why can't you seduce them? Why go to the weak? The vulnerable you attack. And as we are blessed, we have weak ladies ambao wanasoma. Ama nyinyi pia kumweka bei juu. Punguzeni bei basi, punguzeni bei. So colleagues, let us avoid unethical things that can make us spoil that job you are holding. There are many people who depend on it. Don't spoil it. Let us cancel each other. Also, as we fight for you, also do your duty. Teach. The Bible says, he who does not work should not do what? Should not eat. I don't want to be called here that Dr. So-and-so did not teach. Those are things we should not deal with. We should deal with matters that improve our profession, not integrity issues. Are we together? Lakini ukipatikana na hiyo maziwa, don't accept liability. The body might be weak. So I'm saying, yes. Uliwachwa na hiyo maziwa na umekunywa kidogo. Don't accept liability. Come and confide in me. Or you are chapter 6 then. Because I've been to institutions whereby now I go to defend a member. The member accepted long time ago. It's pleading. It's not pleading. Forgive me. So now, once you have accepted liability, you put me in a very weak position. I cannot defend you. What's the devil? Are we together? If you get a Shokos letter, if you get a disciplinary letter, your next talk should be at the chapter 6 resolution. Don't respond. You don't know how to respond because it's a number loose. Your brain is a number. Why do you respond? Hey, Salambo, hii kitu mimi nilikunywa lakini tukiingia SD takunya hapa. But we don't go there and start negotiating on your behalf, on your own. Because sometimes you put us in very awkward position. We cannot defend you. Are we together? Are we in agreement? Yes. Lakini usikunywe.
Aidha, Wasonga amewahakikishia wanachama wa Uasu nchini kuwa viongozi hao hawazembei kupigania maslahi na malipo bora kwa kila mhadhiri.
At the national stage, we are also doing something. We are negotiating 2021-2025 CBA. Because it is my duty to ensure that I improve your terms and conditions of service. And we are negotiating for basic pay. I know there's a category that did not benefit in the 2017-2021. That is the category of 12. You are in our heart. Amutalia sana. This time, the general knows where to place you. House allowance, I know house allowance has not been reviewed. We are working on it. I'm working on mortgage so that you can have a home to go to. Many attempts don't not go home because they don't have homes to go to. So they are either staying in the university or Maasai-Mara town. I'm negotiating for you so that you get mortgage to go and build a home. Car loan, I'm negotiating it so that you buy a car. Not problems. A don should drive a machine. Those who do not know Amaluko. When you decide to buy a car, buy a machine that has the airbags. And even if you get a road accident, the airbag protects you because you are down. So we are negotiating so that you can get car loan. See, probox, pussy. The professors that are here, we are negotiating for you at the national level so that you can get professional allowance. You are earning how much? I want to say 50. Yes, you want to increase it. Are we together? Then we are also negotiating commuter. Commuter at this university, professors get 50,000. Some get 35. And we want a uniform commuter allowance for all academic members of staff. Whether you come to the university riding on a donkey, on a probox, the commuter should be uniform. I don't want to hear, oh, Dinia, what one will do, Dinia, what will better. Commuter should facilitate you to go to work. It does not matter how you go there. Workload. Would you have talked about it? We are the people who drafted that case for Maasai-Mara because I was a pupil at Los Angeles advocate. Humanities, 3 units. STEM, 2 units and 1 practical. The rest, if you teach over and above those ones, those are part-time.
Wazo hilo likipigwa jeki na katibu wa Uasu tawi la chuo kikuu cha Maasai-Mara, Boniface Isalambo, ambaye amesifia ofisi ya kitaifa kwa kusaidia kutetea haki za wanachama katika vyuo vikuu vyote nchini Kenya.
I'd like to thank the national office for availing themselves just to attend our AGM. And our National Secretary General has been very supportive. You are all aware that the ongoing case of salary arrears was filed by the national office on behalf of the chapter. Situpigie makofi. It's not only that instance that the national officers have come to a rescue. There's a time we had a problem with the statutes, and we were having the problem with the council. The person who also intervened was the National Secretary General, and we were able to stop the degazettement of the what? Of the statutes. What I'm just trying to demonstrate to you that there is a way the chapter can work very well with the national office, and we are able to solve our problems. And I'd like to assure you, it's not only that particular time. In 2018, some of us were suspended for around 6 months. I was part of that group. Kinanga, you remember? Faith is here, the former CA, and you remember there was some intervention from the national office. And the matter was finally resolved. What I was saying, there's a way the chapter can work with the national office, and we are still able to resolve our issues. I would like to thank you, Simambua kila mtu mbili from the national office.
Other colleagues, I'm very happy with Uasu-Mmarau chapter. This is one chapter that has supported us, and we have also supported the chapter. We will stand with you. I want you to remain in the union, support your leaders, because it is your leaders that also elect me and they support me.
Mwenyekiti wa Uasu Dr. Wesley Omoyo
by the union lawyer, but the chapter only paid a commitment fee of 50,000. So whatever that is here, we can recharge even $500,000.
Naye akusita kuwapa motisha wanachama wake kuendelea kusimama kidete na muungano huo.
I think it was presented very well by the chapter secretary and even what the National Secretary General was talking here. There is that perception, a few perceptions about that Kusu negotiated for area. Seriously, that is laughable.
Who is saying that?
That is laughable. Because I think we normally don't read the chapter secretary report very well and the communication on one side. The first arrears that were paid, I remember somebody was to be dragged to court with the content of court. And Professor Chacha hurriedly from Kakamega, approving the money from Kakamega, we got the first arrears. He had used it sometimes in December, and we know very well, Kusu's case ended a long time ago. They were told to go and negotiate. Uasu was still in court until December when we were getting the degree. And for those who don't know, we were supposed to serve the Vice Chancellor the degree in December. And I remember, Chapter Secretary, you are being called by several members. We don't just want to say who they are. Wakasema, Chapter Secretary, don't serve the degree. What if you wait first because they are paying, I don't know, part-time and some 2 months arrears? Don't submit the degree. Ngoja walipe kwanza, ndio submit the degree. Why were they rushing to pay the 2 months arrears? Because they knew they were not in court. We communicated to their lawyer, Nyabocho. Nyabocho told them, if you don't pay, gari yako VC or whoever, itashikwa. And not just the Vice Chancellor, we were even to attack the accounts because the graduation was not supposed to be there. But the CS, you did not submit the degree, you did not serve the degree. It was served in this January. The meeting that we were called, the Vice Chancellor had already decided, had some proposal. Can I pay 2 months in December and 2 months before March? Do we have any business signing that and we have a degree? Do we have any business going to sit with management? Now it is out of court settlement that wanted to sign, like now we are agreeing 2 months now. And we already have a degree. You do what you want to do. For us, we can decide what we want to do. The same way that we have agreed, okay, kama umesema ni hiyo 2 months in December and 2 months in March, you do it. But if you don't do it, we know what to do. So let us get things that we adopt, so that hiyo euphoria is good.
Wanachama na hawakuachwa nyuma ya mkini, wana imani kuu kwamba mchango wa Uasu kwenye safari ya kuboresha maslahi yao hautatikisika.
Solidarity. Solidarity. Our national office, led by the Secretary, Wasonga, Treasurer, and Organizer. It is our pleasure
to receive you in Uasu-Mmarau University. My colleagues, this is the place to be. We are glad that you came and listen briefly to us. How I wish you sat longer so that you listen to the grievances that members have, most of them being internal, and the chapter office is addressing them. These things are rather overwhelming, and we want to call upon you, like it is important that you are working with the chapter to help us address the many issues. Please stay with us so that we walk this course together. To my colleagues, this is the place to air your views, this is the place to address your issues, and to celebrate the achievements that we have come with along the way as union members. I want to remind us, earlier on we mentioned something about pension. Excuse me. All universities are paying 10-20. And when Wasonga, you remember where we were, Maseno? We just went for an AGM. It was announced and the VC implemented. This issue of Wasonga having to wait for no budget, let me remind you, your pension, your salary comes from the government. The moment it enters here, the university spends it on Uasu-Mmarau. So there is no way you will tell us, or the university will tell us, that there is no salary, that there is no pension, that there is no budget. Like Professor Adu was telling us here, that money comes to the university, and so it must just go to the members. We have been discussing this thing for 2 years now. The other time we met, we discussed it. Last year we met, we discussed it. This year again, we are being told we are going to discuss it. Wasonga, National Office, as you fight for salaries, as you fight for members' welfare, also fight for our pension, help us fight for our pension. Like the old man here told us, those of us who are soon going for pension need not fear that pension is coming. So, on one note, this again being internal, I know it is covering all other places. When the CODs and deans meet in Senate, instructions come from above. So it is the union to engage the management to give us the next instruction. Same to class sizes and leave. May I tell you, for example, when the issue of leave came this year, it was only the CODs from the School of Arts who raised issues. All the other CODs kept quiet. Not that they fear, we know the procedure. Whether you say it or not, it will not happen. So let union engage management, give deans instructions, give CODs instructions, we will implement. And therefore, I want to appreciate every one of you, and especially the National Office for addressing this occasion. When you travel back, we pray for their mercies.
Before us, Jehovah, is lunch. We ask you to bless it before we take it. We thank you for it, O Jehovah. And we pray even for those other people in this country, O Jehovah, who are suffering, lacking food, O Jehovah God, that you will provide for them, O Jehovah, my Father. Even from our guests, as after that they depart, O Jehovah God, we pray for journey mercies as they travel to wherever it is they plan to travel. We pray this, believing and trusting in Jesus' name.
Kikao hiki cha asubuhi kilifika mwisho, kisha wanachama wakaelekea mkahawani kufurahia chamcha pamoja na vigogo wa Uasu. Baada ya rojorojo, vinara wa kitaifa hawakuwa na budi kuwaaga wanachama ili kuzamia majukumu ya matawi mengine. Nao wanachama wa Uasu chuoni Maasai-Mara wakijiandaa kwa vikao vinginevyo vya siku.
Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for a union makes us strong.
Vipindi vya jioni vilianza, huku uzito ukiwa utoaji wa ripoti ya katibu wa tawi, ripoti ya mhasibu, ripoti ya mkaguzi, pia ripoti ya mdhamini.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For a union makes us strong. Thank you, thank you. Now I have a report which I'll try to summarize. Now the chapter secretary's report covers everything that affects the membership, and I want you to be very keen because it's a lengthy report, but from this report we need to make resolutions. I've tried to engage also the national office. I think they were coming here, and I thought it's not good for them just to attend the AGM without also paying courtesy call to the university management. That's why we were able to go there, but we were able to also make some quick gains, which I'm going to explain. Our style of, because we are playing the negotiation and representational roles, our style has basically been what you call social dialogue bipartite engagement. When I talk of bipartite, it means the union that represents the staff and the employer. In most cases, the delegation is from council to what? University management. And at times it's tripartite because we have issues like the CBA, where now a third party is involved, the government. SRC has always been appearing somewhere. You negotiate, but SRC has to give what? Approval. Currently, that is what we are pursuing. We've had litigation from 2021. You are aware of the case, which was concluded. We just hope from what the NSG, because we are with him, if things all go well, then we might not have any case in court. And we do hope we are able to resolve most of our issues through dialogue. That is what we are trying to pursue. So the presentation is organized in several thematic areas. Some of the areas have already been covered by the NSG, but I'll just try to highlight. So there is the first part of the National Collective Bargaining Agreement. We are looking at the status of the 2017-2021 CBA. We've really had a very lengthy case which started in 2021. I've tried to give a summary of the table. You remember what happened when the CBA implementation was suspended. We've had the case of the 7 months arrears since they resumed. The chapter was able to enter into consent with university management in court on June 15th, 2023, last year. However, that consent was not honored, and that is why the case was concluded in December 19th in favor of the union, where management was told to settle the 4 months arrears. On that particular date, the university gave us another consent where they were saying they wanted to clear in March. But the union did not accept that consent because we felt they had not honored a previous consent in June 15th. That's why we went to court and obtained what we call a decree. That decree was served in January. Later on, we had an engagement with management where we had around some of our chapter officials, and management was represented by the head of AF and S together with ASA. And they were able to state their position. We told them they pay their arrears in January. They said they want to pay their arrears in March. But we told them this issue was filed by the national office, who's the petitioner. That's why we thought it was important to involve the petitioner and also involve the membership. And I hope we've been able to resolve, but we are not entering into any consent because we already have a decree. If they don't comply, it simply means we go ahead with the execution proceedings, which we have already done before. But we believe that there's some commitment from our engagement. And you've heard the NSG pronouncing himself on that particular matter. So we do hope that matter is settled. We'll go by the commitment made. That is, we wait up to March. And if nothing materializes, I hope you are giving us the go-ahead Are you getting that? To go ahead with the execution proceedings, which we don't believe might be there. We hope that commitment will be done the way we've been explained to. We have around 20 million that has been paid. The pending bills are around 808 million. And that is just from that time that happened. But we have the second part where I've talked of the 2017-2021 CB arrears. Remember, you were paid some arrears some time back, but there was some money, around 35 million. You are paid 78% of what was owed to you. The 22% amounted to around 35 million. Then you went for 1 year where you reverted to the defunct 2013-2017 CBA. The total amount owed to all staff is 104 million. This issue we have been deliberating at the national level, and you've heard the National Secretary General confirming that it is true. We've not been paid for arrears for 1 year. That is in the 2017-2021 CBA. For those ones who are here by that particular time, that amount is owed. We have the tables because I was part of that committee that computed those arrears. I know what each member is owed. If you ask me how much you are owed for that time, I know. But we hope this matter will be solved at the national level and will be able to resolve. The issue of 2021-25 CBA, the National Secretary General has explained. It is an approach where they are using litigation and the tripartite engagement. Though SRC has been the major barrier, but the courts definitely told they told them to give a proper counter offer. The point of dispute has been the change in the 2019 recognition agreement. Previously, national office used to engage only on the basic salary and house allowance. But the 2019 recognition agreement allows the national office to go beyond the two. That is why you heard the National Secretary General talking about professorial allowance, commuter allowance, even medical. That is the new change. That's where the dispute is. All the chapter secretaries were told to give comparative allowances so that if Maasai-Mara is earning the highest, then the others should be brought to that level. If multimedia is earning the highest commuter allowance, then they should also be brought to that particular level. That's what they were trying to look at, harmonization. The internal CBA, it has taken quite some time. We've been following up. Management has kept on saying that they are yet to approve the counter offer. We gave our demand proposal. SRC was able to sieve out and give the financial component, where most of the allowances were retained. In fact, they were saying Maasai-Mara is earning higher than most other places in terms of allowances. We know so many universities that don't even pay their examination officers. But the good thing is that most of our allowances were retained. We've talked, when the national office came here, it's a matter we've discussed with the Vice Chancellor, and she has agreed that she's going to fast track so that we start the negotiation very soon in terms of the internal CBA. So I'm seeing at least some progress in that particular area. We just hope to formalize, because initially our CBA was not registered. So what we wanted was to formalize. SRCs gave us a window. They finally accepted it the way it is, but they said we retain it. So we should finalize that, then we begin the 2017-2021 CBA, which we believe might have some financial component. It may put some money in the pockets of dons, because we don't want to keep on negotiating zero CBAs. That is what is happening with the national CBA. SRC is the barrier, because they came up with something they call percentiles this year. They said the target is to move all institutions to 50 percentile. They gave civil servants 37 percentile, TAC 36, universities were given 49. So if the target is 50, do we deserve anything? What will 1% help the dons? That is why the unions went to court. And we hope even these other two CBAs, we managed to get them through the court. This issue of diagonal, SRC had insisted it should be horizontal. but the court gave us what? Diagonal. So we do hope we'll get some reprieve. It's a there's engagement going on, but at the same time, the case has not been withdrawn. Let me move to the second part: reviews, promotion, contracts, recruitments, and replacements. We've tried to give a summary of what has happened from 2021, from the time we started engaging management, and I'm happy we've done a summary. We are saying here that out of, currently we have around 181 members, but from all of them, from 2021 to date, 72 members have moved from one grade to another. That is, let's say you are in 10, you move to 11, or you are in 11, you move to 12, you are in 12, you move to 13. So I don't know what 72 is in terms of percentage, if you are to compute. If we are 180, 50% is around what? 90. Are you getting that? But we have done 72, so we might be maybe at 40. What is the percent? 40. 40%. Then we have 10 more who had also been put on contract for quite some time. The designation we used to refer to as TY, we call it TY. At least 10 were moved from permanent to pensionable. So you'll find like 32, at least there has been 72 plus 10, then you are talking of around 82. Now this year, we wrote to management requesting for reviews. And you remember even during the budget committee, there was a move to only secure funds for the administrative wing alone in terms of reviews. And we've continued pushing. We have those who applied for promotions, and I think the matter was brought back to departments where the CODs were told to give statistics on who are due for promotions. So we do hope that we'll also have another set of reviews. That is a commitment that management had given, so that members would like a situation whereby when a member is ready, is due, at times it's not even an issue of advertisement, because when the advert is there, maybe you are not ready at that particular time. It's simply giving your papers, and then they are able to review you. So that is a matter that is still ongoing. The matter that has not been resolved to date is the issue of TYs first, the contract lecturers. It has partially been solved because all those with PhDs were moved to PNP. That was last year. So we still have the other set. And one of the things that was coming out is that we cannot have two sets of employees with the same qualifications, but with different terms and conditions of service. So there's a way in which we need to ensure, whether it's regularization of change of terms, that we don't have that kind of scenario. We've been making our proposals. Right now, there's an issue where we have members moving from non-teaching to teaching. There's an internal advert that has been prepared. And our position actually was that why can't we subject the same advert to these other categories, that is of the TYs and TFs? It would also be discriminatory, so that the recruitment process seems to be fair. I don't know whether you're getting the position we are trying to articulate, so that we are able to resolve this matter. But we have also given the financial benefits. We are saying that the TYs are supposed to be paid gratuity of 31%, the TFs. When you put them on PNP, you reduce that, because the employer is supposed to, it comes to around on 7 and then 15. So it's like you have saved in terms of the university, for the university. So it's a matter which we have not yet resolved, but if you look at all our reports, we've raised it. The matter also came up, but I think we said we would still continue engaging, on the way forward. Recruitments. The union has been pushing on this issue of recruitment, and we are requesting also the CODs to help us. At around August, initially when we started in March, we had 151 members. Then those members moved up to around 178. So we knew very well that the union was at around 178, 175. But by around August last year, we had gone back to 161. There were members who were leaving, but they were not being replaced. So right now we are at 181. What has been happening is purely replacement. That is not recruitment. Because if you are at 178 and now we are at 181, it means you have only added 3. If you look at the ratio for teaching to non-teaching is supposed to be 1 to 2. Right now it's 1 to 4. It's 180 against 615. Our contemporaries like Jaramogi are at 300. People are now preparing the strategic plan, which we never follow. If we are very serious, we need to ensure that we continue recruiting aggressively. Because if we don't do that, most of you are not going to go out for leave. You are told, look for someone, yet the department has only 1 resident lecturer. Is it your responsibility looking for somebody to take over from you? That's why we are able to engage management on the issue of annual leave, saying that annual leave is an entitlement. On the other issue, the review process. We have a scheme of service for Maasai Mara 2018. And I know CODs will receive that scheme. Don't introduce your subjective criteria. Last year we received complaints from one school where they were trying to introduce a subjective criterion. They were discriminating some candidates using the undergraduate background. We moved in very fast as the union and were even able to block the interviews. So let us follow the scheme of service. Don't introduce your own subjective criterion and be unfair to candidates. And the issue of reviews, we are still advocating for continuous reviews. The other area is the status of pending bills, which you have raised here. The issue of arrears I've already articulated. Part-time is still an issue. Though you have been told that why do you want to continue accumulating pending bills? Last December, most of you withheld the pending bills and you saw the results. Some money was paid. But at the time, when in August the previous year, we did not withhold and no money was paid. So every time they go there and they realize that you have taken up, they don't see the need of paying. But we don't want this culture. We need to deal with this matter of pending bills once and for all. Gratuity, we've written to management, we have yet to get commitment. Because we wanted an issue of what is the payment plan. I've given the data. We said you are owed 50 million. How long do you want to take to pay this 50 million? Do we pay within 2 years, within 1 year? I know very well those members who are owed gratuity. If they know there is a payment plan, they have no problem, so long as there is a commitment to it. There should be a payment plan for gratuity. We have the issue of annual increments of GS, which we have said. We hope we'll continue engaging on this. Then salary-related grievances. I'm happy to announce that there was some erroneous 20% training levy introduced to our members who are on postdoc. We were able to engage university management and it was stopped last month. So we hope the reimbursement. The resolution of management was stopped and reimbursed. We have another salary-related grievance where those ones who are earning salary to self and those ones who have read the terms and conditions of service. Article 12.6 is very clear that if you have reached the ceiling, you can still request management to give you 2 annual increments, which will be salary to what? To self. So there were members who are earning salary to self. It was slashed. When we followed up, they were telling us it's the issue of the vendor, the software. The management also resolved that they have to be reinstated and be paid what was owed to them from around July and also reimbursed. This has not been done, but we are following because it's a management resolution. But we believe that matter has been resolved. Incorrect placement of recently promoted GAs. The union raised the matter. The GAs were given the letters. At that time, we had attended the NDC. I don't know who called those GS and told them they wanted to do some corrections on the letters. They were deceived. They returned those letters. Nothing has been done. Then that matter just fizzled out. Next time, we would like, when such issues come, you raise it with the union. I would like to give you a very good example. There's a time, there was some note that was written to 2 of our members who had been promoted as associate professors to return their letters. When they called the union, we made reference to the VC and the council, and they said there was no such order, and they were stopped from following up those letters, simply because they communicated to the union. If that matter of the GS had been brought to our attention at that time, I think it would have been brought to the attention of the Vice Chancellor, and it not have happened. But we are following up on the matter to correct that anomaly. Remittances. We had a challenge last year on remittances, but the report right now is that all remittances up to December have been done, which is an improvement. There was a challenge of the funding model, I know, last year, but we want them to comply. These remittances are supposed to be done by 9th. Not the issue of paying, because we have penalties. So they are not still compliant. The erroneous deduction of training levy. The NSG has talked about this. NSG wrote, Federation of Kenya Employees wrote. I also wrote another letter on behalf of the chapter after we met, after a chapter meeting. So we are yet to engage. We do hope that they are going to refund that money, because the orders were very clear on house levy. The issue of governance instruments, the issue of statutes, we are taking keen interest and we would like this issue to be revived. We had a dispute, we stopped the gazettement, but we hope this time we'll have proper stakeholder engagement so that our views are taken into account. We have issues of the scheme of service, maybe in terms of application. That's why we were saying member sensitization, that members need to know how do you move from GA to TF, how do you move from TF or AL to lecturer. It should be very clear. And we don't want people introducing their own criteria. If you want to introduce it, request for a review and bring that subjective criteria there. HR policy, we have submitted our views, but the major part we noted in that draft does not acknowledge the collective bargaining agreement as a source document, and that puts it on collision course with the CBAs. So you cannot have an HR policy that does not acknowledge the terms and conditions. So you'll find the CBA says this, the HR policy says this. But Article 1.9 is clear that when we have a disagreement between the employer's policy and the CBA, when one is in conflict, inconsistent, or contradicts, the agreement is followed, not the policy, because the agreement is registered in court. This issue of model, development of modules, this is intellectual property. We need to know how members are going to be compensated. Once somebody records you, you start teaching or doing whatever, he'll not need you. We can just use it to teach the students. You need to be compensated. We have been following up on this matter. In our first meeting, they said that they want to compensate only the reviewers. We said no, the content developers need to be compensated. How do you exclude the content developer and you want to pay the reviewer? The issue of disciplinary matters, I'm happy to announce that one of the cardinal duties of the union is to protect jobs. We were able to follow an appeal case by one of our GS who had been terminated. It took 1 whole year, but she's back. Though in a different designation, but she's back. We are also concerned that there are some disciplinary cases taking place without acknowledging the union. Any disciplinary case, you have to notify the union, so that you are denying that person representation. And members who are holding administrative responsibilities ensure that once we sign a CBA, it is not a union CBA, it becomes terms and conditions for academic staff. You cannot apply the CBA selectively. It is only good for your allowances. But when it comes to class size and other things, it does not apply. That you want to violate it. When it comes to disciplinary, you don't want to apply it. Then don't even now take the allowances within that CBA. Let us apply the collective, the CBA properly, the terms and conditions. Medical cover is still an issue, and the problem has been in the budgeting. We've been talking about insurance, which costs maybe around 80 to 100 million. Every year, they keep on budgeting for 30 million. But even that 30 million, does it give us value for the money? The kind of hospitals we are choosing? We had recommended to management that we want to have a meeting and review. Even within that kind of establishment, how do we go about it? Because we keep on complaining about budget of 30 million, year in, year out, year in, year out. Yet we are not taking corrective measures. Reimbursement of medical claims is also an issue. At times it takes so long. You might find members who have gone for treatment. I know of one member who had his own, had to use money close to a tune of 1 million. It's now around 5 months. Still following up on that. You know, something that has depleted your own savings. It's not good. The issue of staff, the staff issues and welfare, workload, class size. We are following up on that matter. But what I'm saying, their governance body and negotiation is between the employer and representatives of the employees, the union. There are some governance management organs that are negotiating with themselves. When you pick an issue of workload in Senate, whom are you negotiating with? We are the representatives. Once we realize there is a violation, we always write. And we have written to Chair of Senate and several and told them, this one is ultra-vires. It's beyond your scope. Senate is not there to negotiate. These are all our members. Staff club. Members don't have bonding sessions. We've tried to follow up this. Management has promised they have identified a building where they might try to rehabilitate so that the staff members have somewhere where they can sit and bond. Maybe we'll be giving you updates if that happens, but there's some commitment towards that. Office space, furniture, and teaching materials. I don't know, we were informed that when that new building was completed, the original plan has been altered. Some of those places were supposed to be offices, I hear they are now classes. And we have so many lecturers that don't have places. We need to sit down and look at the issue of office space so that we know whether the problem is furniture or space. But I believe the problem is not space, it is the furniture. We have space that is now is not serving the intended purpose. And if at all is a problem of space, then we have to establish where are these 180 people sitting. And some operating from them, or they do sit in shifts. What is happening? Annual leave. The union position is clear. Annual leave can be taken any time of the year. No conditions. This issue of saying that you can only go on leave from May to August cannot apply. If all of us go on leave from May to August, we will have a shutdown. No marking will take place, no industrial attachment will take place, no teaching practice will take place. Even the directorates have to close schools and departments. So March to August, just forget about it. Let annual leaves be handled by CODs. Have your own schedules and see where each member can go. But it's not my responsibility to look for somebody to teach when I'm away. We have a leave entitlement. That one is violating the labor laws. Insurance covers. We still have problems with what we call the personal accident cover, work injury. We have one of our members who had an injury out on research. we have a dispute with the management. They are saying that they only pay when you are at the place of work. And lecturer, do you only work here? What about when you do research? When you are out on attachment or official duty? You mean you cannot be paid? The issue of group life. We have one of our members to date. The widows are still here following up on that matter. Yet, the issue of group life has remained ping-pong between pension and management. We don't know who's supposed to pay, whether it's university management or pension. We have to resolve this matter. Budget, we are urging all members to be fully involved in the budget. That is only when they take seriously the issue of pending bills, support for our schools, the issue of medical scheme. The battle is at the budget. And this time the academic division has to come out strong. Now that we are saying that we want a management that is academia-centric, one that commits, believes in the core, the fellows who execute the core functions of the university, academic staff. Chapter management and national engagements, we had capacity training of chapter officials. The chair, the treasurer, and chapter secretary were trained on various aspects of union. We have also managed to have office space and furniture. We are saying that Uasu, for the first time, has assets. And the trustees will acknowledge that. We have several furniture purchased, and we'll continue doing that. We have the issue of constitutional review, but I have not received any views. You were given contacts. I don't know whether members even remember that draft we shared. But I don't think there's still a window for participation. It's important for you to look at that. That new draft was introducing new positions such as women representative and several other organs. Because we are the ones who represent you, you should look at how the constitution affects representation. Regularization of chapter membership. We have those forms. We would like you to fill them. There was a problem in the forms we issued out last time, but we have corrected that. Please fill those forms so that we regularize your membership. There's a difference between an agency fee payer and a member of the union. When you're an agency fee payer, we still get your 2%, but you're not entitled to any representation when you have any challenges. So why should you pay 2% and you don't enjoy the union benefits? It's better you pay it and you are a member. What I know, a majority of us are members. Maybe if they are agency fee payers, there are just a few, around 2 or 3. We only classify you as an agency fee payer when you write to university management to stop you from remitting your union deductions. But once you do that, I also write another letter saying that what you are earning is as a result of the negotiation of the union. So you have to be an agency fee payer. You will still pay the 2%. Representation of staff welfare groups. I'm happy the presentations have been done. We have secured all the staff welfare groups. All the chairs are from Uasu. And you remember at one time in SACCO, when we did not have Uasu there, the SACCO nearly went under. And the union had to come in. The chairs explained that to resolve that matter. Now, what would you say as summary of some of our achievements? You've seen we have successfully litigated. We started this case, we won. We have refused to sign any consent. We have been told we'll pay by that because we know we have the decree. If you fail to pay, we execute. And therefore, we are assuring members that the arrears will be paid. You've heard it even from the National Secretary General. Are you getting that? The arrears will be paid. Through engagement, you've seen the reviews, several of them. But we need to intensify. We ensure that members who are due for promotions are able to get them. We have resolved several salary-related grievances. We have protected members' jobs. We have engaged management and stopped violation of terms and conditions of service. In 2021, had we not moved in, most of you would be teaching a workload of 4. We had to stop it. You remember there was that directive from Senate that every member takes 4. And the union had to move in. We have moved in on the issue of annual leave. We've had this issue of class size. We are following up on all those matters. We have represented members in policy formulation, the issue of statutes, part-time policy. We have presented views to committees. The Presidential Working Party, we were able to submit. We also met Ministry of Labor as a chapter. HR policy committee, we have done that. We have supported national causes. When the housing levy demonstrations were organized in Nairobi, the chapter sent some representatives. We were there demonstrating on the streets, and we are following up even on the other issues. Proactive engagement with academic division. The union had organized what was something like an almanac, where they meet with academic division, try to resolve grievances raised by members. And that one minimizes issues otherwise which would have moved to disciplinary stage, or issues which would have brought disharmony within the division. So there are several things the union has done. What are our prospects right now? The plan for 2024. We are saying we are going to intensify efforts for signing and negotiation, which we have this meeting. When you saw us calling the national office, that internal CBA is signed by the chapter officials and the national officials. Are you getting that? It's a combination of chapter and national. So we were engaging, and management has committed that this one has to be jump-started. So we hope that in our next AGM we'll be reporting something different in terms of internal CBA. We are saying we want to pursue full implementation of the 2017-2021 CBA arrears, the 2 months we are talking of. And the other part, we are leaving it to the national office, the issue of that 1 year we are talking of. We are talking of issue of contract lecturers, the issue of TFs. Then we want to professionalize, continue professionalizing the union management. And we are also advocating for the establishment of a 3rd division. We don't, anything that helps our members, for us we will support it. What we are talking of, the research, innovation, and extension. We want also to revive, we are looking towards reviving statutes, the issue of statutes development, because we feel what was developed ignored a lot of the stakeholders' input. And we will work hard towards the realization of what we are calling the staff club, to ensure that members continue bonding. Thank you for your support, members. You've stood with us. We know we still have challenges. There are issues that have been raised, one which had not been addressed in this report, especially from the School of Nursing, the issue of the ongoing lecturers being paid allowances and others not receiving. I think it's a matter which needs urgent attention, and several other issues which we'll try to resolve. Thank you for your support. Let us just firm up by singing again the Solidarity song. Let us stand and sing Solidarity. Yeah, someone else to lead us, Brother Kuria.
Solidarity forever.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
Asante sana. we are doing well in terms of time. You took just slightly above 30 minutes. Now I want to give the treasurer to give us, number one, the auditor report. Bwana leo auditor ongei kwa I remember that you reminded us the other time we struggled to connect the auditor. So we have his permission for the treasurer to give the auditor report and briefly about his report, but more importantly, the budget, so that we can look at the budget and also reverse it and advertise it. Ready for the treasurer?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, SG, and the general membership. Good evening. Good evening once more. Good evening. Yeah, this is a beautiful day when we are to come together, feel each other, and feel together our togetherness as a chapter and as a union. From where I'm standing as your treasurer, with the new dawn in the leadership of the union, we said that we must, one thing that we had to change is that we must connect with the people. We must make the membership feel their belongingness to the union. So we are there and we are committed to this, that we continue doing this perhaps until you decide otherwise. Now, we have the report, that is the audit report, auditor's report. You have the document on your phones, the latest that was sent by the chairman. Kindly refer to that e-book, kindly. So we move straight to page 7, or rather page 40. Sorry. We move straight to page 31 of that document. Page 31 is page 7 of the audited accounts, income and expenditure account for the year 2022. Now, during the said year, the income of the union was, as indicated on the document, that is 3.57. In 2021, it was 2.7. In the same year, the expenditure was as indicated. The meeting responsibility allowances are 1.3. 2021 it was 1.0. Elections, we didn't have any election expenses. 2021 we had 255. Traveling and transport and subsistence, 12,000. 2021 it was 77,000. Printing and stationery was 22,000. The previous year it was 13,000. It went up a bit. NEC expenses was 90,000, up from 68,000. Induction workshop was not there last. That is 2022. 2021 it was 78,000. CBA expenses we never had. That is local CBA. The previous year we had 97,000 for CBA related costs. A strike expenses we never had. 2022. The previous year we had 18,000. SDC AGM we had 300. We spent 376,000. The other year it was 617. Administrative expenses were 83,000. The other year it was 20,000. NDC we spent 1 million. The previous year a similar amount. Legal costs or fees we spent 86,000, down from 100,000. Bank M-Pesa charges 3,000, down from 12,000. Audit fees remains 30,000. Total expenditure 3.1. 2021 3.4. So in the said year we had a surplus of 400,000, and the previous year we had a deficit of 700,000. So ladies and gentlemen, from there we move to page 31 of the document, or the audited account, page 4. There we find the statement of financial position as at the said year, December 31st. We have current assets, cash and bank balances were 312,000. The previous year we had 95,000. Debtors and receivables, we had 306,000, down from 400,000. The 400, or rather 306, this is amount that had not been paid to the union by the employer. The total is 619. The previous year, 499. The expenditures of the union were financed by the members' accumulated fund, and that is 589,000. This we can find on page 6 of the audited accounts, or page 33, where we get members' accumulated fund, that is 138,551. We add the surplus, that is 451,000. The total comes to 589,000, up from the previous year, 138,551. We have creditors, or rather the balance carried down, that is 589. So creditors that we had due to national office, we didn't have anything. We didn't owe national office anything. The previous year we owed them 300,000. The audit monies, we owed the auditor 30,000. Now, every year we pay 30,000 for audit work, but this is paid upon or after receiving the report. So in as much as the accounts read that we owe the auditor 30,000, that amount has since been settled. We move then to page 5 of the audited account, or page 32 of the entire e-book, where we can see, just for your perusal, page 32, for your perusal, we have cash, the very end, cash and cash equivalent at the end was 312,000. Now from there we move to page 2, or page 29, page 2 of the audited accounts, reported by the auditor that nothing has come to the attention of the management committee to indicate that the union will not remain for at least the next 12 months from the date of this statement. That is, the union owes nobody anything. We don't have liabilities. Finally, we move to page 3. Page 3 or page 30 of the e-book. In the auditor's opinion, the accounts are presented, or were presented, that as they were presented gave a true picture, true and fair view of the state of the union's financial affairs as at 31st December 2022. So there is absolutely no cause for worry. The auditor further reports that they received all the necessary documents from the Treasury, the chapter Treasury, and they have no reason to doubt the statement as they have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, the accounts were audited by Kirugu and signed on 30th of October 2023. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now from there we move to the Treasurer's report, of which you can read. My view, if I don't want to bog you with this so much, as a union, it has been said, it has been noted, we need to work together, to support each other, to fight the same cause. Whether you are in management or you are in the union, we should work together. We should support each other for the betterment of our staff. There is no conflict of interest between those in the union, leadership of the union, and those in management. We are serving the same institution. When we work or take care of the interests of the membership, we make our university a better place. It is our objective in the Treasury to help the leadership of the union to achieve the objectives of the union, making Masai Mara University a better workplace. So we call for support of all the membership or all members towards the same goal or the same end. The rest, ladies and gentlemen, we can check or read on the booklet. The proposed budget. Thank you. So, the Treasury has looked at the actual expenditure of 2022 as indicated on the document, that is on page 38, and the approved budget of 2023. And against that background, we have made proposals which has been looked at by the executive or the leadership of the union and brought to you members for adoption, consideration, and approval. So, for members to see, but you can check on your phones. We have budgeted for office wear. Of course, the total money is expected is 3.9 M, up from 3.7 the previous year. We have budgeted for office or proposed office wear and computers or laptops, so at 120,000. Now that voted, there are notes, by the way, there are notes down there, ladies and gentlemen, so be guided, or you get the details down there. This year, we are going to focus on the small things in the office. The union budgeted last time for an office outside the university premises, but in its wisdom, we thought of relocating back to the university. And that is why the cost has gone a bit down, because we have not budgeted for office rent. Number two, salaries and honoraria, the meetings, plus meetings of members when they meet, take some snacks or water, at 1 1.7, down from 1.9 the previous year. Now, the honoraria caters for 12 people. You heard that some of us have been poached. So because of financial reasons, we have focused on the numbers that we have. Of course, we have 11. The numbers are standing at 11 now. But the union has got capacity, that is the leadership of the union has the powers to deal with one category of the leadership, that is committee members. And we have factored in that one person, that in its wisdom, perhaps the leadership might consider nominating. Salaries and, administrative expenses, as indicated on the notes. Airtime, internet, website management will cost us 80,000 if you allow, down from 100,000 the previous year. Airtime, printing and stationery to 120, down from the previous year 130. Ladies and gentlemen, we had to do some slashing because this year is a unique year, because we are likely to spend heavily twice on NDC and also SDC. SDC in view of the expected vote on the Uasu Constitution. So we have budgeted for the two, so our finances are a bit constrained. That is why we have slashed some of our expenditures. And also last time, we were strongly warned not to have any deficits. But in as much as we tried, we couldn't survive without deficit. But we'll come to that. So NEC, audit and inspection of books of accounts and related costs will be at 132. 36, sorry. The previous time, 70. We terribly under. This time around, we have consolidated that vote head. The other time, we scattered them. Number 6, audit fees, as usual, is 30,000. Transport and subsistence of 50,000. National Delegates Conference is at 840, budgeting for, as indicated on the notes, the numbers that we have. Then elections expenses stroke SDC 240, annual general meetings 350. It has gone up kiasi because of perhaps increased appetite and also and also some of the issues we have realized we never budgeted for, like in the last few days, the executive team has not seen sleep in a proper sense of the term. So we have tried to budget for that to some extent. Then Members Education Day, we have proposed 100,000, a similar amount to the previous year. Local CBA, UBM on university management meetings, 50,000, a similar amount, and publicity, media relations, etc., at similar amount, 20,000. Strike mobilization fund, we've proposed 30,000. We've come down by 20,000, and I think justification is not just financials, but the trend today is to go legal and to realize that strikes many a time make our members vulnerable. So the wise way or route to go now is legal. Then legal fees, we could have budgeted for more because anytime we should be ready to, people refuse to listen to us or to dialogue, we should be able to challenge. But what we could do is propose 100,000. Then benevolent fund, in case of issues that come, I think this is also under funded or under budgeted for. We should have even more money because now and again issues arise and a union needs to be felt where our members are bereaved or are affected in a similar manner. Training and capacity building, we squeezed in 50,000 under budgeted, but that is the much that we could do. The total expenditure or proposed expenditure is 4.1. We have then, this is up from the last time it was 4.2, but we have a deficit then of 242. Now this 242, how do we plan to get it, or what gives us the hope or the courage? Annual increments, we expect. CBA arrears, we expect additional funds, new recruitments. So we are comfortable that this amount, or we will be able to fund our budget. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I request that we adopt, consider, bring your suggestions, then we approve the budget. Thank you.
Makofi kwa CBA. Yeah, it reminds me of during campaigns, and somebody thought a philosopher cannot be also an accountant. But nowadays I'm saying the way you are articulating those issues, you're now supposed to be CPA, which is a form of philosopher. Okay, now we want to open it up for just deliberation on the budget, because we want to talk about it. So in case you need any clarifications or you want something to be amended, it is on the floor now.
Okay, we are the three of us. It's me, 001, I chair these guys, and Margaret Kadogo. We had Felix Yalo, whose contract with the university ended around June. It was not renewed, so we adopted Dr. B to be with us. Then we'll move on to the next one. Next slide. Our mandate is drawn from the Uasu Constitution. That's Article 11B and Labor Relations Act 2007, Articles 36 and 37. Our work is three-pronged. We look at the assets, we look at the finances, and we also mediate between members if there's a dispute amongst us. On assets, we have also membership. Let's go to the next one, please. Okay, on membership, we want to know how many members there are, because they are the ones who provide money to the union that our executive should be able to spend. We have realized that we have stagnated, and this is what the trustees are asking the membership. Let us help ourselves. This thing of being called small universities, small chapters. When you go for NPC, Maasai-Mara is worried. Let's not go university suffrage because you're small. That thing should end. This is how we are requesting you to help ourselves. Anytime you overload yourself, if you have to teach 3 and you teach 6, remember you have denied somebody a job, well qualified, who is actually tamaking out there. So withhold that. We are saying, please members, let's be good. Let's be good citizens. Let's help our other members to get jobs in Maasai-Mara. We should rise from 1 intern to 3 interns. To do that will be good for us. So as trustees, we want more members. More members will be done by us. When the management sees that we cannot, there are many bending courses, they will hire. When they hire, we'll go to bigger university. On assets, on assets, the union managed to get some furniture. And I think it's in the secretary's report, also in the trustees' report. And we also hired an office for the past year. We have them. We as trustees have been there and checked them. On achievements, which we have really been hard on these guys. And I also have hard on them even on Mtandao last week. I pushed them so hard together with our other trustees for them to perform. And we are glad that they have been able to highlight the achievements they have done because of us asking them. You You promised this, have you done it? And they have been able to do it. We also oversight union funds, and I want to report that in the end of the year, the treasurer was very good. Anytime we needed documents, he gave to us, we checked, they were well documented. So we have no problem on union funds because he gave us documents. When we ask, we want to see how we paid people, he give us documents, we look at them. What we do, we go to the bank, we get the bank statements, and there was concurrence. So we really applaud our treasurer for improving and working very hard. Our last thing is we are recommending, this one we are recommending with a lot of seriousness. We need a registered CPA. We can no longer operate at the 2012-2013, and there is just a gentleman's agreement. We want that group life to be operational. And that can only be done when we have a registered CPA. We are also asking our executive kindly engage these members. Engage them, not just once. Don't wait for AGM. Let's have a time for recruitment. We had one member who said, since when I came, it's only the SACPA that has approached us. Let's do recruitment. Let's do orientation. Let's sensitize our members. You know, sometimes when we ask from Mtandao, let everyone come here and shout, and yet the CS has stopped. It means that members have not been well inducted on the roles and the lanes that the members have to do. And we are saying, please members, we are requesting that any time they call for these meetings, let's come, let's engage. Maybe the AGM time is so short, but if you came for a members' day, a sensitization meeting, you'll have more time to talk and your views will be heard. We're also asking them that when we have these meetings, let's give feedback like you're doing. Once in a year is not the best, but if we can do it more than once, I think our members will be encouraged. We are requesting members to own this union. And so, since we are in the midterm, maybe in the next AGM and the last one, there will be some bells being rung. We would wish to see that many of you stand for election in Uasu, because then we'll have won your union. Thank you very much as trustees. We are grateful you have bestowed on us the honor to oversight our executive. Thanks for membership.
Yeah, the last statement is that in the next Uasu elections, just slightly below 2 years, I expect like position ya chairman tukue watu 6, Kara kwa mmoja wao.
Baada ya ripoti zote kusomwa, mwenyekiti wa Uasu Dr. Wesley Omoyo aliongoza kikao cha wanachama kupiga msasa ripoti hizo, pia kutoa mapendekezo ya kuendesha masuala mbalimbali yanayowakumba.
Okay, now let me usher in the last session of the day, which is very important. We had the chapter secretary report, we had the chairman's remarks, and there are quite a number of things, maybe something that we did not deliberate here. It is now high time, it is an open session. After some session, we shall spare the last maybe 10 or so minutes to do the deliberation from what we have discussed. So the floor is open for any issue that you feel should be discussed. Mtu wa kwanza nani?
Mkutano ulikamilika nyakati za usiku mchanga, kisha wanachama wakapata chajio na tuzo za kipekee.
Habari za jioni. Tuimbe solidarity 20. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
They shall bear fruit, and everything that is for the benefit of us all shall be affected. Thank you for our Uasu officials. We pray that you may continue to strengthen them and help them to represent as well for the benefit of us all and our families. We commit the rest of this night to you. Be with us, grant us journeying mercies in Jesus' name.
Amen. Uasu imeahidi kuchukua mkondo wa kusuluhisha mizozo kupitia mbinu za kidiplomasia, koti tu likiwa kimbilio la mwisho baada ya mbinu zote za kusaka suluhu kugonga mwamba. Kutoka kwenye meza ya usimulizi nimekuwa wako Mzalendo Kemboi.